starts. Start up already. Why it's just spinning?
There we go.
Wait, error occurred. Wait a minute. Try again. All right.
There we go. That looks kind of cool. There we go.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome to the 150th episode of Sector 2814. That's a lot of numbers. The Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, master of all cores, it is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
That's right, kids. Episode 150. So we decided to pick something big before we jump into 3 months of Blackest Night. So, yes, this time
it's divisible by 50. It's a super important issue.
In 100.
Episode.
Oh, no, wait. It's not 50, not 100. All right, yes. So we're covering Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1 and 2.
Nice.
Because one wouldn't have been big enough for a big episode like this. That's right, Will. It's divisible by 50. If I could figure out a way to put foil on the episode image, I would.
And make it glow in the dark.
Yes.
Some die cuts, metallic cover.
Full, make it like open and closed.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we love the 90s, kids.
Prism. We need a hollow prism. There we go.
That's right. All right. So yes, 150 episodes already. Doesn't seem like it. I guess we've been having too much fun.
Exactly. I mean, we've been burning through the Green Lantern universe for 150 episodes, which is pretty darn cool.
Again, I mean, Blackest Night will slow us down a little bit, and then once we get to New 52, we'll have 4 monthly books.
Yeah, we will still be burning through it, but we will be
not as quickly.
Not as quickly, yeah, definitely not as quickly.
I think I told you back in the day, if we ever catch up to current day, I mean, we could always go back and do Silver Age stuff. I don't care.
I know, and I figure we'll catch up maybe in another. I'll see, Blackest Night. Blackest Night really only pushes the needle ahead like 8 months. So we're taking 3 months to go 8 months, right?
Yeah, that's going to hold us back somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll be 1 month. Let's see, we'll have 4 books a month. So if we're doing 4 an episode, actually, we probably won't make much progress then, once we're doing 4 books a month.
Math, kids, math.
Have fun with math. Math problems are fun.
But then it's not going to help our cause when we get to that year where there was no Green Lantern book. Although we'll be pretty close to the end by that point,
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it'll be interesting to see because there were 2 books a month, Green Lanterns and Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, yes. Post New 52. So yeah, it's gonna be quite a while till we catch up, and we've got 2 books a month right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, we can, if we always catch up, like I said, we can do Silver Age stuff, anything pre-crisis. We could do any of the Green Lantern's appearances in any of the Justice League books or anything like that. So
yeah, absolutely. And, often and occasionally we will meander back around and do a Quantum Zone like happened recently.
Episode 155. Yeah. So total combined, Will, I mean, we've done over 300 episodes together. So
yeah, that's like 6 years, man. And we've never met in person.
I know.
We met each other. Were you? Let's see. Let's let's spin the Wayback Machine back a second. Was it you that was looking for somebody that wanted to do a Quasar podcast?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it was you. Okay,
It
because
was
then
me,
it was,
yes.
and you reached out to me via the Quantum Zone, I think, and then there was Matt.
Well, I threw it up on Twitter, and then you and Matt both responded, and I was like, well, this is good. I'm like, well, I'm like, we'll see. I have two options, so if somebody doesn't work out, I have a backup. No, I mean, and
we had a blast for 100 and when did we finally stopped it at about 152? Was that it?
Something like that,
151, something like that.
Yeah.
And transitioned over to
Sector 2814.
Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast.
where we had such highs as talking to creators such as Ron Mars and Jeremy Adams, to the lows, Action Comics Weekly.
We don't speak of that, Phil.
I know. Or Will's favorite.
And we talked to
Will's favorite era, the 90s Guy Gardner book.
Oh yeah, that was we loved that so much, don't we? Also, we got to talk to Ben Robb.
Yes,
which was great. From a Green Lantern standpoint, and from us being kind of Quantum Leap fanboys as well. So
oh yeah,
all good. Lots of good stuff. Lots and lots of good stuff. Oh, and well, it wasn't really. He is Green Lantern. He's Green Lantern family, so we got to talk to Jeff Johnson, because of the Wondercast and all of that. So, yep, lots of good shows out there. I think now's the time where we plug the playlist, Phil.
Oh yeah, so well again, I mean, you can find every episode of the Quantum Zone has its own playlist on the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. So does Sector 2814. So basically any show we do, yes, has its own playlist on the YouTube channel. That's the easiest way if you just want to watch or listen to one show, because again, on the podcast it's interspersed with other shows. Yeah, the YouTube channel, everything has its own playlist. So if you just want to listen to one show, there you go. Although you should listen to everything.
You should.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I wanted to bring up? How we were talking, was it last episode or the one before, about is Green Lantern War Journal now an ongoing or not? It's possible, because I know originally this Green Arrow series that's been going on, I think they originally touted that as a 6-issue miniseries, but supposedly they solicited a 7th issue, so I'm thinking they promoted that to an ongoing, so it's possible.
Okay, very cool. I mean, we could just I guess ping the editor or ping Philip Kennedy Johnson or somebody and see.
Oh yeah,
what the
I should do that tonight or tomorrow. I'd be like, 2 questions for you, sir. 1, yes, has the War Journal been upgraded to an ongoing? And 2, would you come speak to us?
Let's come talk Green Lantern on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast.
I mean, I would love to talk to him about that. He's also, I think he's about to wrap up his Action Comics run, which has been going on for a while, and then he's working on the Hulk for Marvel right now. So I mean, he's got a few things going. So
very cool, very cool. So before we went live, and I was messing with the ring in the camera, Ooh, like that. Ooh. Anyway, Green Lantern 6 came out today, and I've heard that there are some. I've not heard what the spoilers are, and I'm gonna avoid the spoilers, but I've heard that big things happen. I don't know what those things are. Maybe they're not big things. Maybe they are, but I am very much intrigued.
As of this recording, kids, neither one of us has read it. By the time we get to next episode, I will have read it, and I'm sure we'll be like, I haven't read it yet. I'll be like, oh my God. I'll be like, how did you read it? I'm sure I'll be like, you mean you didn't turn to page 7 and see?
That sounds like something you would do.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll never guess who showed up. It was.
Well, and as much as I am looking forward to reading that, and I guess the next week will be new issue of Green Lantern War Journal as well. They're a week apart, aren't they?
I believe
typically.
So. Yeah. We
have this to discuss.
Yes.
And
yes, we're going to talk about Earth 1 volumes 1 and 2. Yes.
And I was telling you, this hardcover is just beautiful. It really is. I mean, it's okay, I'll go ahead and say it. It's a really nice package.
It was just a really nice package.
I agreed, sir. Like I said, yeah, they bound all the Earth ones like that. And they kind of gave them like their own cut. They're all their own like color scheme. I think the Wonder Woman was yellow. I forget. I think Superman might have been red and Batman's blue. But yeah, so of course Green Lantern's green. But yeah, they kind of gave them their own color scheme. Like you could you set them all on the shelf. You could tell which is which.
Who's who? Yeah, I mean the spine on it is really nice.
Yeah,
and I mean just the overall design. It really is.
Yeah, and
it's a beautiful book.
Yeah, you're paying a little more. It's like $25, but still, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's really really nice.
Well,
it was just a really nice package.
Exactly. Was this how I just got these in because I mean I'd heard about them but I had never picked them up. When did you first come in contact with Earth One? Green Lantern Earth One.
What, the Green Lantern stuff? I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I got them the day they were released, but I think I got them within a few months of when they were released. So
okay, cool.
It wasn't like
because they've been out. It was what 2016, 2017. Is that when this came out?
Number one saying 2018.
2018. Okay.
And then let's see. Number 2 is saying 2020. So yeah, first one was May 2018, then the second one saying August 2020. So
cool.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the other thing too, where it's like they usually gave you like a little they're like $25 books, but like they weren't putting them out monthly.
Yeah.
You're like the next one like within a year or two, yeah. So
give it, in a decade or two, that's going to be the monthly cost of comics. So
oh, don't even joke about that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know. Oh my god, I was out shopping today and actually like stopped into a comic shop and like got some like not my regular shop, like a different one. So that's why I didn't pick up any DC books, but I bought some old stuff and it's just like I'm looking at it's stuff from like the late 80s or it was some Supermans from like the late 80s, early 90s, 75 cents, $1. I'm like, oh, those were the days.
Those were the days. Yeah. It's hard for me. It hurts me a little that you would say old stuff and talk about the 80s or 90s because it's not old. But apparently it is now, so there you go.
I think I've said this to you before. I always think it's any of the comics that came after like the year 2000 as like that new stuff. But again, it's like it's like you say 2000,
20 years old. Yeah,
it's like 20-some years old. Yeah.
Get off my lawn. Sorry.
Ask some of these punk kids. It's like, oh, did you read any old Spider-Man? Oh yeah, I read Civil War. It's like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
Back in my day, we had McFarlane.
Yeah, we had Roger Stern writing. We had David Michelini.
Who was the Hobgoblin? Damn it!
Exactly. Yeah, they messed that up a few times. Anyway.
All right, should we get to these? Because these are a little longer than usual. All right, so
you bet.
Green again, kids. Different continuity, so everything and everyone is different here. So. Everything is different. All right, so Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 1. Like we said, May 2018. I don't think there's an actual title. It's just Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 1. All right. Writer Corina Becco and Gabriel Hardman, who's also the penciler and the inker, Gabriel Hardman. Colorist Jordan Boyd, letterer Simon Boland, and editor Christy Quinn. So we got a different writer and penciler. Well, a guy who's doing pencils, inks, and new team here. All right, in the not too distant future, ex-pilot turned mining worker Harold Jordan works for Ferris Galactic and is part of a crew mining at the asteroid belt. Jordan is disappointed to learn that a rival company have beaten them on striking a bigger deposit and are informed by their employer, Carol Ferris, to come home, but are not getting their bonuses. But Jordan refuses to return to Earth and continues to dig until he inadvertently finds an alien spaceship buried within the asteroid. He and crewman Volkov explore inside the ship and find a deactivated robot, a long dead alien body, a power battery in the shape of a lantern, and a ring. Jordan radios in his discovery that Captain Amelia Seaton before the spaceship loses its support, causing Jordan and Volkov to escape with the battery and ring. On a shuttle heading back to the Ferris 6, as Jordan reports their findings to the rest of the crew, Volkov curiously puts the ring on his finger and tries to use it on the battery. This triggers an energy blast that damages the hull, and Volkov is sucked into the void despite Jordan's efforts to save him. Jordan can only grab the ring and survives in space using his willpower to control the ring. The Ferris 6's crew are surprised at what they saw, but they cannot allow Jordan in the ship as they are fearful of possible radiation exposure coming from the ring. Just as the crew tries to find a way to safely get Jordan inside, the robot from the derelict ship is reactivated and attacks Jordan. After the robot slams Jordan into an asteroid, Jordan uses all of his energy from the ring to destroy the robot. However, this act sends Jordan further away into outer space. Jordan later regains consciousness on a medical bed and is surprised to find himself on an alien planet and meets his rescuer, Kilowog. Jordan learns from Kilowog that he is on the planet Bolvax Vic and is mistaken to be a Green Lantern, in which Kilowog is much eager to become one, as Kilowog also possesses a ring passed down from his family and expects Jordan to train him. Jordan correctly clarified with Kilowog of how he found the ring and his ordeal with the robot, which its remains are also in Kilowog's possession. Kilowog is left very surprised, and especially of how he was able to destroy the robot, identified as, of course, a manhunter. It is explained by Kilowog that the ring and power battery belonged to the Green Lantern Corps, an organization of peacekeepers based on the world of Oa, until they were all hunted and mostly eliminated by the Manhunters. It is unknown where the Manhunters originated, but among many stories, some say it was the Owens who created them. Since then, the Manhunters have controlled nearly the entire galaxy and have neutralized the central battery, making the rings no longer powerful as they once were. The Manhunters have little interest in Bolvax Vic, as the planet is isolated and its inhabitants strictly forbid anyone from leaving, and no aliens are permitted on the planet, as this is why Kilowog had to keep Jordan hidden. Kilowog and Jordan decide to work together in learning how to use their rings, from flying to energy blasts. Unfortunately, their training has caught the attention of the Bolvax Home Guard. Jordan and Kilowog are confronted, and the Home Guard's commander chastises them for using the rings. Before the Home Guard are about to detain Jordan, Kilowog's lab is destroyed by Manhunters who have detected the damaged Manhunter before attacking the Home Guard, Jordan, and Kilowog. The inexperienced Green Lanterns try to fight back, but the Manhunters are proven to be too powerful in terms of their weapons and numbers. Jordan, realizing they are greatly outmatched, grabs Kilowog and fleeing from Bolvax Vic. Once landing on a planet, Penello, away from the Manhunters, Kilowog is upset with Jordan for making him a coward and flies back to his planet to resume their fight despite Jordan's pleas. Jordan then notices a devastated city in the distance. He travels through the ruins and finds a statue of a Green Lantern, Penelopus. Kilowog soon returns and is injured. He now finally realizes that he cannot do this alone. Jordan proposes finding any remaining lanterns alive to fight the Manhunters. They travel from planet to planet, risking their depleted power rings until they find a single lead to Graxios 4. There they are greeted with hostility from the Green Lantern Arisia Robb and her people. Upon Jordan explaining their intentions to Arisia, she refuses to help them and deeming Jordan to be very naive. Well, the tables have turned.
Sorry.
You know. The two later travel to Moab Gira and meet Vecca Trana, whose late partner was a Green Lantern. After Vecca listens to their plans and learning that Kilowog lacks keen knowledge of the Lantern Corps, he reveals the shocking truth that the Guardians of the Universe who created the Corps were the ones who created the Manhunters to destroy the Green Lanterns under the belief that they have bestowed too much power on so many beings that could bring chaos to the galaxy. With the central power battery destroyed, there's no way to defeat the Manhunters with numbers when their rings are severely weakened. Left very disappointed, Jordan and Kilowog decide to get drunk at a space station. Jordan blames himself for convincing Kilowog of finding help from other lanterns and reveals how hard it is for him to trust people. He explains to Kilowog that he used to work for NASA to deploy an orbiting platform called Arrowhead that was supposed to be for launching deep space exploration missions, but only to be weaponized into a defense platform. Hal trusted the wrong people, who then used the Arrowhead to cause a massacre to grab power and turning nations such as the United States to fall under authoritarian regimes, and he was unable to prevent it and forcing him to run away. After finishing his story, the station comes under attack by Manhunters, and Jordan is punched out by one of the robots. Jordan awakes to find himself, along with many others, to be used by slave labor by the Manhunters. Throughout his ordeal, Jordan witnessed the horrible conditions enforced by the Manhunters. One day, Jordan finds his ring recharging through unknown means. Hal tries to keep the recharging ring hidden until an alien accosts him, causing Hal to accidentally blast him with his ring. The Manhunters are alerted, and Hal hides with another slave, who reveals that the planet they are on is Oa. Jordan believes that a battery is somewhere inside the Manhunter's containment dome and can use it to recharge his ring, and then using its power to free the slaves. But his fellow escapee argues that it is foolish and that she doesn't care about rescuing them. The slave ends up stealing Jordan's ring, but fails to breach the dome. Just as Hal arrives and gets his ring back, the slave is blasted by the Manhunters. Jordan quickly grabs the ring and manages to get inside the dome, where he finds the central power battery. He uses his ring to connect with the battery and comes in contact with a Guardian. The Guardian explains to Jordan that he is the sole survivor of the Owen Council, who has escaped into another dimension and is responsible for creating the battery, the core, and the Manhunters. He admits that the robots were meant to keep the Green Lanterns in check should they have gone rogue, and had safeguards to prevent them from replicating or replacing themselves, not without help from their creators. When the Manhunters murdered the Guardians, they depended on slaves to repair them. Right now, the Guardian knows a way to destroy all the Manhunters. He instructs Jordan to destroy the containment dome, allowing the battery's energy to flow free and fully charging the rings throughout the galaxy, and contacting the other lanterns and bringing them to Oa, and using the central power battery to destroy Oa, the Manhunters, and as well as the slaves. Jordan is very hesitant to go through the Guardian's plan that will kill the slaves, but he has no choice to ensure the galaxy's freedom from the Manhunters. With his ring fully charged, Jordan is able to fight back at the Manhunters, but he is still vastly outnumbered. Jordan attempts to flee Oa, but stops and is reminded of his cowardice. He turns back and tries to break through the containment dome before sending a distress call to all surviving lanterns to return to Oa. Jordan is eventually overpowered. Just as the Manhunters break through his shields, Kilowog and the other Green Lanterns, including Arisia and Vecca Trana, arrive. The Lanterns break the dome and fully restore the central battery, though the Lanterns manage to save Jordan and destroy the Manhunters guarding the dome. An entire army of Manhunters are coming. They begin to debate on whether they should follow through on the Guardians' plans to use the central battery to destroy Oa, along with killing thousands of slaves. But Jordan wants a better solution. Fortunately, one of the Lanterns, a physicist, does know a way. He proposes that by using their empowered rings, they can control the central power battery's power to wipe out every Manhunter on the surface without destroying Oa or killing the slaves. Following through in the Lanterns' plan, all the Manhunters on Oa's surface are destroyed. The Lanterns then proceed to save the slaves, but Vecca is fatally wounded. Vecca makes his last request to Jordan to pass his ring to someone. The Lanterns evacuate the slaves to a moon orbiting the planet Paraquat. Jordan gives Vecca's ring to one of the freed slaves. As the Manhunters aren't defeated yet, the Lanterns agree to once again work together to liberate the galaxy from the Manhunters, and electing Arisia as the Cord leader due to her experience. Thereafter, Kilowog and Jordan return to Bolivax Vic and freeing it from the Manhunters. Meanwhile, the Guardian is displeased with the offense on Oa. He wanted the uncontrolled blast from the central power battery to destroy both Manhunters and Lanterns, thereby removing his problems and laying a clear path for his return to the galaxy. The Guardian shrugs off his displeasure, seeing this as a minor setback that he will eventually deal with it, as he prepared an army of yellow lanterns. Jordan returns to his solar system, picking up the battery on the way and giving Volkov a burial before heading to Earth. He makes a surprise meeting with Captain Amy Seaton and revealing himself as a Green Lantern. Thoughts?
I thought this was pretty good.
Hmm.
I, as a Green Lantern fan, I get that they were trying to ground this and make it less fantastical. So not having constructs was
Mm.
something that took some getting used to for me,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a big part of Green Lantern. But the story was good, the art was good, although for my taste, it was a little bit
A little too muddy.
sketchy,
Yeah.
a little too sketchy, and the colors were awful dark, I thought at times. So it made some of the panels a little hard kind of to decipher. But reinterpreting you know the Green Lantern Corps,
Hmm.
it
And they kind of reversed a lot of stuff because it's like first this time it was the Lanterns that came first, then the Manhunters came,
yep,
and it's like this time Arisia has more experience than both Kilowog
then both
and
Kilowog
Hal.
and Hal, yeah. And we got to see Sinestro, and we get to see in the next volume we'll get to see Tomar Ray, and we get to see some of some familiar faces.
John Stewart next time,
John Stewart next time. I don't know. It might have grown into something, but it still feels, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but kind of not. It feels kind of mean and more run of the mill, more kind of mundane than a traditional Green Lantern. But it doesn't have a lot of those fantastical elements. I mean, it still has the ring.
Yeah.
And they go out of their way to point out that the ring doesn't choose people. You're a good person or a bad person, it doesn't matter. You have a ring.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's basically anyone can pick it up because, like, yeah,
Mhm.
even when they're on that planet, yeah, that alien swipes the ring from Hal, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah. And the Guardian being, we get more on his motivation, in volume 2, but it I'm not convinced. I don't know that. I guess the motives of the final Guardian just kind of, and the Guardians themselves don't make a lot of sense to me. Not that the Guardians in the
ever did.
normal DC universe make a lot of sense to me either. So that's probably not a really good criticism. But no, this was good. I mean, it was. It was a pretty. It was a compact story. I mean, how many pages is this thing anyway?
Oh, it was.
Oh, great. They don't page number. Okay, that's an annoyance.
I forget. I believe it was over 100 pages. I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe 96, 112, something like that. Hang on, I shall look it up.
I was gonna say. It's so weird because it's like volume 1, it's on DC Infinite to read. Volume 2, I think you have to like upgrade to like the what is it, Ultra or whatever. I'm just like, that's annoying. Not that I didn't have both of these in hardcover anyway.
Hardcover, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 132 pages. Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, it yeah, I don't know that I was probably the best audience for maybe any of the Earth One. If the rest of the Earth One stuff is like this, I probably wasn't the ideal audience because it's certainly not the Green Lantern that I've read since I was much younger, right?
Yeah.
But there were some really good parts about it. Not too distant future. Hal's running away from Earth. That makes giving him an arc. And having him have to overcome stuff to be the hero that we expect him to be at this point, right? That was good, and it was great seeing Kilowog. Even even if it's not our Kilowog, it's still Kilowog, right? So, and there were some nice little touches here and there. I half expected one of the planets to be Mogo, but that might have been a little bit too fantastical.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
do you think the tone of it too? I know you said mean, but do you think it's more like the core? By the time Hal and everyone could discovers like the core and comes together, they've already had like their Emerald Twilight, and it was brought on basically by the Guardians.
exactly, yeah, and I think the tone is just more realism. Let's make it as
Yeah,
real as possible, right?
I think
And
that was kind of the mission statement for the whole Earth One line. I think so.
yeah, and I get that, but realism is just another tool. Let's not make
Yeah,
it take over everything. Just like foil covers shouldn't be on every comic, right? It's just
right.
another tool to use.
But
But
again,
again,
I mean, when you're dealing with alien power rings, I'm like, what's realism?
exactly. I mean, you've already kind of gone a little bit over the.
Yeah,
And there was a good line, by Hal was like, it's not magic, it's technology. So I need to figure out how the technology works. Let's figure this out, right? So that was good.
yeah,
I uh, I thought it was interesting, and I'm still trying to think about the structure in my head because he gets rescued by Kilowog, and his first thought is not to go back to Earth. His first thought is, let's figure this out, right? And he keeps
yeah.
going, and they visit so many worlds until finally getting back to Oa. And he doesn't really come back to Earth until the end. And I thought that was kind of an interesting choice, because it makes sense. And they plant the seeds, because he worked for NASA. He gets made fun of for having worked for NASA, back in the day, and it kind of makes sense to explore, but fairly early his running around the galaxy isn't necessarily about exploring. It's about trying to find Green Lanterns, right?
Hmm.
So I thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
And then we get the reveal at the end where he's finally back on Earth, and then things get, at least in my mind, they kind of skew even darker in the second volume.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, it's a big conspiracy. Yes.
Hmm.
All right. Should we get to the second one?
Rock on, man.
All right. All right. All right. So Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 2 from. I know I said it before. Yeah, August 2020. The team's looks like the team is the same. All right. So. Yeah, it's almost taking place in real time because there was like 2 years between these, but in the story,
Yeah.
nearly 3 years since Harold
Yeah.
Jordan's return to Earth, humanity is brought into the intergalactic community after the Green Lantern Corps saved the planet from invasion by the Manhunters. Currently, humanity is making progress in establishing relations with the Laurens. However, the situation is still tense as many of Earth's authoritarian governments chafe to dealing with aliens. During a trade deal being negotiated with one of the Lawrence envoy ships, the commander of the orbital defense platform Arrowhead is suddenly given orders by Global Central Command, CENTCOM, to target the ships. The commander refuses to follow the order, but without warning, one of the Lawrence ships is blown up. This prompts the Laurens, believing it was the humans who attacked, to retaliate by launching missiles on Arrowhead. Jordan shields the platform, but Arrowhead takes significant damages, which then quickly exacerbates the situation by CENTCOM sending fighters to the Larian ship. Arrowhead is soon destroyed, but Jordan manages to save its crew. The Larn withdraw their ships from Earth, along with taking the human representatives, the Gendo Mitari, Sophie Rivas, and John Stewart as hostages. The Arrowhead incident has put Earth in an intergalactic crisis as word of humanity being responsible for firing first on the Larians spread. Jordan takes the Arrowhead's crew to a hospital and learns from the Arrowhead's commander about CENTCOM's order and that he did not fire on the Lauren. Soon after, CENTCOM demands for Jordan to surrender to their custody. Jordan refuses to surrender and flies off to the Jordan Aeronautics R&D facility on the moon. Now becoming a wanted fugitive, Jordan requests Amy Seaton to evacuate everyone out of the base and try to get rid of their prototype interstellar ship and its deep space drive schematics from falling into CENTCOM's hardliners, which he will try to convince the Lauren to give the hostages back. During his transit to Lauren Prime, Jordan contacts Carol Ferris to help the lunar base. Upon arriving in Lauren Prime's orbit, Jordan is confronted by Lauren warships and, to his surprise, a lantern who carries a yellow ring. The yellow lantern declares to Jordan that he is the defender of Lauren Prime and its sector and demands Jordan leave or else his presence will be considered an act of war. Jordan tries to make his case with the lantern, stating that the incident on Earth was a tragic mistake and he wants to make amends. Unfortunately, the yellow lantern heeds to Jordan by shooting him with a burst of yellow energy. Jordan, knowing that fighting the lantern will only provoke war, flies away to seek help from Arisia. Meanwhile, Arisia and her fellow lanterns Sinestro and the Lantern of Comed are fighting manhunters on Cometa 4. Jordan joins in the fight, in which it quickly ends with the manhunters being utterly destroyed by two yellow lanterns, who then immediately take their leave. Arisia tells Jordan that this is not the first time they've encountered these yellow lanterns, as there have been reports of them appearing throughout the galaxy. And the Corps have no idea when they first appeared, as the Corps is too occupied in tamping down manhunter hotspots. Other than that, the yellow rings are vastly powerful. What is even more troubling is the yellow lantern defending the Laurens, which is the first time a yellow lantern is aligned with a world. So Arisia advises caution with dealing with the yellow lanterns. Also, Arisia informs Jordan that the Corps cannot come to Earth's defense if the destruction of the Lauren ship is perceived as an act of aggression, but will help establish a back channel to negotiate the release of the hostages. Traveling to Graxos 4, which is the current headquarters of the Corps, Jordan is reunited with Kilowog, and Arisia learns of reports. Arisia learns of reports of every manhunter in the galaxy being recalled to Oa. Sinestro sees this as a chance of finally wiping out the manhunters and retaking Oa, in which Arisia agrees to his suggestion. The entire Corps are assembled and launch their assault on Oa. As they make their approach to the city housing the central battery, they are stunned to find mountainous piles of scrapped manhunters due to the yellow lanterns that are being led by the last Guardian. The Guardian makes his proper introduction to the Corps, explaining that he had returned to rid the universe of the last of the manhunters and return order to the galaxy through the power of his new yellow rings that are more advanced and powerful than the original green rings. So he makes a proposition to the Green Lanterns to join forces with his Yellow Lantern Corps, and together they will protect their homeworlds and, better yet, the galaxy. However, Jordan casts his doubts with the Guardian's intentions as he remembers his instructions to destroy Oa and the Manhunters along with their slaves, and he even refuses the Guardian's offer of resolving the crisis on Earth and returning the hostages in return for joining his Corps. Arisia also shares Jordan's concerns, and acting on behalf of the Green Lantern Corps, she declines the Guardian's offer. But several Lanterns, including Sinestro, willingly join and take up the Guardian on his offer. Meanwhile, on Lauren Prime, the planet's Yellow Lantern unexpectedly frees the hostages and takes them to an isolated alleyway. He then explains to them that he is giving his ring and battery to them to help them with their escape. Dr. Mutari demands to know why he is doing this, in which the Lantern admits that he had killed many Laurens and is immensely ashamed for what he did. It is revealed that he and the other Yellow Lanterns came from Quard from another dimension. And they were once systematically oppressed until the Guardian came to free them and gave them yellow rings to defeat their oppressors. In return, the Guardians owe a debt to the Guardian and joined in his war. After finishing his tale, the Guardian takes his leave to find some way to repent and make right to the Laurens. Back on Earth's moon, Seaton and their crew fly off with the prototype starship into deep space, just as CENTCOM have invaded the base and are left drifting in an unknown part of space. Jordan has an argument with Kilowog over the latter's favorable view of the Yellow Lanterns. After Kilowog leaves in a huff, Jordan is then informed about the hostages' escape. Just then, the Guardian broadcasts a galaxy-wide announcement concerning the situation on Earth, claiming that humanity is responsible for attacking the Larn envoy and deeming them an imminent threat to the galaxy by showing footage of the Jordan aeronautic starship, accusing humanity of one day using faster than light ships to spread their violent, intolerant ways across the galaxy. The Guardian has already dispatched his Yellow Lanterns, including Sinestro, to contain Earth, and working with the Global Central Command, and promising that his new corps will deliver on the failed promises of the Green Lantern Corps. Against Arisia's words, Jordan heads back to Earth. During his flight, Jordan is contacted by Arisia, who relays Carol's message on her discovery of what caused the attack on the Larn ship. It was Larn Prime's Yellow Lantern who had destroyed the ship. It is then made clear that the Guardian has conspired with CENTCOM to cause the attack. It is part of the Guardian's plan to sow chaos on similar planets like Earth defended by Green Lantern Corps members, giving the opportunity to step in with the Yellow Lanterns and discredit the Green Lantern Corps at the same time. Before Jordan and Arisia could make their next move, dozens of Green Lantern Corps members are reporting Yellow Lanterns attacking them on their respective worlds. Graxios 4 is likewise attacked, and Jordan loses contact with Arisia. At the same time, the Guardian cuts off the Green Lantern's access to the central battery by teleporting it to Cord's dimension. Without the central battery, the Green Lanterns are depowered and being easily killed off by the Yellow Lanterns. Jordan is left drifting in space and resorts to creating a feedback loop with his battery to energize his ring, at the cost of sending his battery into a nearby star. He eventually winds up meeting the former Larn hostages thanks to his distress call. Upon learning from the former hostages about the situation on Earth from hearing the Yellow Ring's communications, Jordan realizes that stopping the Guardian is the only way to prevent the galaxy from falling to his tyranny. Using the Yellow Ring, they find Seaton and others on the starship. After repairing the ship with the Yellow Ring, Jordan makes his intentions of flying the ship to Oa and kill the Guardian after dropping the crew in a safe and neutral place. But everyone doesn't agree with Jordan fighting his battle by himself, just because he blames himself for allowing the Guardians return and are willing to help. Mutari manages to contact the Larn ambassador and getting the Larians' help. Stewart, who wields the Yellow Ring, acts as a scout to Oa and find the Guardian's location, which then Seaton will overload the starship's engine and eject it on the Guardian. But the plan goes awry as Stewart is soon attacked by the Yellow Lanterns guarding Oa, and the starship nearly collides with the Guardian ship. The Guardian teleports Jordan to his ship inside a room containing an interdimensional rift. The Guardian wants to talk with Jordan and make him listen to what he is trying to do and tells him it may seem harsh. He reveals that he is responsible for how everything went wrong for the Manhunters after creating them, and in turn led to his banishment, not having fled as previously stated, to the Guardian dimension. Now, everything from the Yellow Lanterns, the war on the Green Lantern Corps, and his tyrannical control of the planets are just part of his grand plan to rewrite reality in his image of supposed peace. He reveals to Jordan that the rift he sees before him is a window to the multiverse, containing countless worlds and universes, and all of them are plagued by pain and terror. Acting on the lessons of a previous Owen known as Krona, it's always Krona, who had first attempted to touch time to discover the universe's origins and consequently shattering it. The Guardian is confident that he can successfully recreate the experiment and shape the universe through his expertise and Jordan's moral compass, in which their reality is free of war and pain. But Jordan calls out his plan as being absolutely insane, and that his attempt to rewrite reality will only wipe out everything out of existence. Show me on the multiverse where Krona touched you. The Larn reinforcements soon arrive at the Bolivac's home guard, Kilowog and Arisia, who now wields a Yellow Ring that she gained from the Yellow Lantern who attacked her world. During the battle, Sinestro and the other former Green Lanterns abandoned their allegiance with the Guardian before becoming appalled by the Guardian Yellow Lantern's actions and realizing that they were being used by the Guardian. The Jordan aeronautics spaceship is badly damaged from its near collision, and Revis is left mortally wounded. The ship's crew reassesses their plan and come up with a way to pilot the ship toward the Guardian ship and detonate its core. However, they have to manually overload the core. Revis suddenly volunteers to sacrifice her life to overload the core. The Guardian quickly teleports the ship to the Guardian dimension and escaping from the explosion. Before the Guardian pilots the ship back to Oa, Jordan's ring is fully recharged by the central battery in the Cordian dimension and allows him to destroy the Guardian's machine containing the dimensional rift. This causes the rift to implode and the Guardian is sucked inside it. Jordan then uses his ring to contain the rift and allowing everyone to pull back safely before the rift collapses and seemingly killing Jordan. With the Guardian dead, the Cordian Yellow Lanterns have broken off their attack and seeing their debt to the Guardian is done. They are now stuck in this dimension and lay claim of Oa as refuge. As for the Yellow Lanterns who defected to the Green Lantern Corps, they did not partake in the slaughter of the Green Lantern Corps, but are complicit. Sinestro takes responsibility and, speaking for the Yellow Lanterns, declares that there was never a Yellow Lantern Corps and urging his comrades to go protect their homes and live a quiet life, which is what he intends to do. The Lanterns and Jordan's friends make their return home. Mutari plans on staying with the Laurens as a sort of ambassador in exile for Earth to bring peace between Laurens and humanity. Kilowog sadly mourns Jordan and regrets arguing with him. On Earth, the Global Central Command instantly loses control of the planet after the Yellow Lanterns disable and cut their ties, forcing their leader, General Jask, to go into hiding while different factions are taking advantage of the chaos. John Stewart sets up an appointment with Carol Ferris, offering to continue Ferris Galactic's work as Jordan had asked him to. But Carol wasn't so sure about interstellar travel being a priority given the current chaos on Earth, though Stewart insists it is worth trying as well as doing it for Jordan's memory. And another 3 years later, on the planet Quard, a Quardian city is under attack. A Quardian runs to a building with the central battery nearby, crying out for the Guardians' help. Coming from out of the building in a green streak of light is a very much alive Harold Jordan who flies off to save the day while insisting that people stop calling him Guardian.
So, this one, I guess, I mean, it's still good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there are bits of it that didn't work for me.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about, authoritarian governments and, machinations around, making war between. And then on this hand, we've got the multiverse and dimensional travel and restarting the universe. I mean, if you're going to ground it, which I think that's what the authoritarianism is, and this kind of political intrigue and stuff going on.
Now that you mention it, why would the Guardian need to work with CENTCOM or do the Yellow Lantern if he's just going to rewrite reality?
It didn't make any sense to me. I mean, he wanted to sow chaos so he would be in control, so nobody would interrupt him when he tried, when he destroyed the universe. I
don't think they clearly spelled it out in either volume, but I think the Guardian was pretty much insane.
Yeah, but we get this interdimensional travel, we get the multiverse, which goes, I mean, that's fantastical plus. That's the DC universe, right? That's not Earth 1. So that part really didn't work for me. I mean,
I wonder if they were like planning something, they were setting this up so like any of these characters could come and go. Like, if we would see this, how Jordan or John Stewart or Kilowog show up in the regular Green Lantern book or something. But
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, the yellow rings still worked. The green rings did not work in universe. They only worked in Quard, right?
Because the green central battery, was transported to Quard. But did they ever say what was powering those yellow batteries?
I think there was a yellow orb or something that he brought with him from Quard.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I mean, I just tonally it felt off to me to have something so grounded in reality ultimately be about restarting the universe, which was the plot of 0 Hour. I mean, it's still good and I enjoyed it, but it just, there was that tonal mismatch to me.
I don't know why they always think they have to ground stuff. I guess I don't know. They think some of this stuff's too fantastical for some people, for a certain segment of the audience. But I'm like, even that Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's what they did after Crisis. It's like, Superman couldn't juggle planets for a while. And,
Yeah.
Wally West can only run at the speed of sound. Or, it's just like, they kind of like,
depowered them and, make it. And then gradually the power levels creeped back up. I mean, it's it just that part just kind of didn't work for me. But I mean, it's still a good story, and I enjoyed it. I think I think what Hardiman was doing too with his art by making it rougher, was to make it look more lived in, more realistic,
Yeah.
right? And to me, that's not necessarily Green Lantern. And I get it. This is not Green
Yeah.
Lantern. This is Green Lantern Earth One. But otherwise, I mean, the story was good. It's just some things just didn't quite work for me. And again, that's not to say that's bad on the book, because I am certainly not the intended audience. I get that.
Well, who do you think is the intended audience? I mean, you're a Green Lantern fan.
Well, that's true, but I'm a Green Lantern fan. I mean,
they're trying to drag in new Green Lantern fans, though.
I think they're trying to get newer fans by saying, this is not the colorful superheroes of the DC universe. This is, grounded in reality. This is, and hey, that's a great, a great impetus. Let's try to go after new readers that don't necessarily like or have been exposed to this, and let's expose them to this, which is, what the push was, I assume, behind Earth One was, let's, I mean, and this looks probably much more cinematic, and as it is more grounded, much easier to turn into a movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Or a television show. Sorry, I'm just having bad flashbacks to the movie. Sorry.
What Hot Wheels track? What?
Anyway, so yeah, that's what was your take on it, man? You bought it when it came out.
I mean, yeah, I get everything you say. And again, like you say, yeah, I think it was them trying to get new, people who didn't regular read comics. I'm trying to remember. I thought one of these. I'm trying to look it up. I forget if it was like a Batman or Superman. I thought one of these Earth One volumes got like a might have been on the New York Times bestseller list or something. So
Oh,
I don't know.
My guess would be Batman, just because Batman.
Well, yeah, because everyone loves Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah, and again, like you even say, yeah, maybe they're setting up for like a new movie or a TV show. Again, trying to make it more palpable, I guess, for a general audience. But it's just like a thing is a thing, Well, I think that's a more modern take where it's like, oh yeah, we kind of have to like tone down certain aspects of our franchise for like a newer audience or a broader audience. It's like, why? The Green Lantern thing is the Green Lantern thing,
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to look at, I've had this, I've seen this posted, across multiple places. Star Wars, is fantastical storytelling, right? Well, Green Lantern is kind of DC's Star Wars. You've got all of these things that you can, you have a lot of the same facets of, both of these, ideas that kind of overlap, right?
Yeah.
And, I know Star Wars has never been popular or anything. So,
and again, you don't need something like Earth One. I think, Jeff Johns really, well, first Ron Mars, of course, and then Jeff
yeah.
Johns, kind of really just the ideas they brought in kind of,
reinvigorated it.
Made everything popular. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not 1960 anymore. We're not like throwing giant boxing gloves. Well, most of the time, we're not throwing giant boxing gloves at people and stuff.
Giant boxing gloves are cool.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I know that there was a third volume planned for this, and I wish we could have seen the third volume, because I think that would have perhaps tied up some things that I might have had, some issues with. But just we got what we got, I guess. At this point.
Yeah, because I think they've kind of given up on the Earth One line, I believe. So,
But it will look really good on the bookshelf because it is a beautiful book.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Once again, it is a really nice package. Both of them. Yeah.
It was just a really nice package.
Which again, I think that was part of the plan too, where it's just like, yeah, we'll make them look more adult and put them on your bookshelf and stuff. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So happy 150, Phil.
Yes, happy anniversary, Will.
150 episodes. I think I've only missed one.
Yes, that time you were sick. Yes. Yes, by coincidence, kids. It was a Guy Gardner episode. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was just the way it worked out.
I know. Don't worry. We'll fill it in for you.
Yeah.
Our unofficial backup, Lil Hellfire. Yes.
Yes.
Not that people do favors for each other, but I was like, yeah, he's coming for you for at least a month or two,
Yeah. Like, well, 2 months now, right?
September.
No, covered only, can never replace. Irreplaceable. She is irreplaceable.
Yes. Oh, please. She's one of a kind. One of a kind, kids.
Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
All right. So, anything else on these, William?
No, I'd like to.
Oh, hey, did you see the visual gag where the Cordings are talking about their oppressors and like the oppressors who aren't named all kind of don't they kind of sort of look like the Anti-Monitor? They're kind of
is that the last page?
I don't know. I don't think it's the last page. No. When like that the guy from Chord's like giving John Stewart and his group the ring, and he says, "Oh yeah, we were oppressed or whatever, and the Guardian came saved us."
Oh no, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that.
All the oppressors look like they're wearing like Anti-Monitor armor. Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
So, I don't know if that was going to be a thing too, or just like a quick, Easter egg thing.
Well, I think that's, just to get right back into it, I guess that's one of the problems with Easter eggs is like, hey, I wanted Jon Stewart to have more screen time. I wanted to find out more about him. I wanted to find out more about Arisia, Kilowog, and Sinestro and Tomar Ray. So they're putting these Easter eggs in here and these characters. I'm like, I don't care about this conspiracy. Let's figure out the core, right? I want to know more about the core.
And I mean, it's not even just this. I think it's like a weakness of modern comics in general, where it's like, did we really get to know Hal even that much in this? I mean,
yeah,
we know about the whole NASA thing and stuff, but it's like we really didn't get a lot of him on Earth interacting. I mean, we didn't see him interacting with like Arisia and Kilowog, but it's like we really didn't see much with him and Carol.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean we're looking at 132 pages, which is 8 issues, right? No, 7 issues, around 7 issues,
something like that. Yeah,
6 or 7 issues. 6 issues. 22 page issues. So, that's.
And if you do both volumes, that's over 200 pages. That's like 264 pages.
Yeah, so that's a year's worth of stories. And you're right, we still don't necessarily know much, about what else was going on. And anyway, it's a beautiful book. I think you should buy it and read it. There are things that didn't work for me, but nothing's perfect. And part of it was probably I wasn't the intended audience, because I'm a lifelong Green Lantern fan.
Yeah,
who has read quite a few issues.
Again, it was a good shot at taking a different take at like your Green Lantern. It's like a what if, or an Elseworlds,
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, William. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, kids. Well, what's coming next. It's coming next episode, kids.
That's
Blackest Night. Blackest Night. All right.
Indeed.
And again, send us your thoughts on Green Lantern Earth 1, on any of the we're doing every single issue of Blackest Night, all the crossovers and everything. Send us your thoughts. Get a Green Lantern prize pack. I haven't seen any feedback yet. Maybe when these have only gone up on YouTube so far. So hopefully once these hit the podcast, we'll get more feedback. So yes, send us your feedback. Win a Green Lantern prize pack, kids. I got comics. I got pins. Badges, if you will.
That's right.
Maybe even Funko for one of you lucky listeners. So come on.
And this will be when will this go? This will go live on.
Oh, this will be on the podcast. This will be the last week of the year, kids. So yes, this is the last episode of 2023. So
so happy holidays. Hope you've had a good year, and come back next year for zombies and Blackest Night.
3 months of zombies.
That's right.
Right, kids. The next 3 months, you're going to be getting Blackest Night. Because I said, we're not joking around. We're doing every single issue and crossover. So, yes, next week for part 1 of, 13 parts? All right, for part 1, we're going to do Green Lantern 43, Blackest Night Tales of the Corps, number 1, Blackest Night 0, and number 1. So,
all right.
All right, kids.
It has begun. It has begun.
Yes. But yeah, by the third week, we'll get to all that. The Superman number 1 and Titans number 1 and you know who number 1. So yeah, we're gonna hit the whole DC universe here, kids.
Yep.
So, yes, never fear, kids. All your favorites will be here.
Batman, my favorite character.
Definitely. All right, kids. So yes, send us your thoughts. You will win a prize. I don't know how much easier I can make this. CapesandLunatics at gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise, link to the Patreon. Please subscribe to our Patreon. You get extra content not heard anywhere else. We get early access to interviews, which you'll hear on these feeds, but you also get at least one show a month you will not hear anywhere else. Lilith Hellfire, really uncensored Lilith Hellfire,
which is kind of frightening to think about. But
well, yeah. What, that sweet little flower?
Your mother's a whore.
All right, so find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, Mr. Will Allred, who's gone on a year's journey with me between the Quantum Zone and here. He's not sick of me yet. All right. Master of many cores, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting and Kickstarter comics, and new grandfather, Mr. Will Allred. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Facebook and Twitter. But I don't know for how much longer. Blue Sky, hanging out there quite a bit. There's actually a really a burgeoning kind of comics community over on Blue Sky.
Yeah, so it's more creators over there. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I like the vibe over there a lot. And other social media that I've probably set up and forgot about. So feel free to reach out. If you'd like to check out the books that I co-create and write, you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We will be launching Crossover Division number 5, I think January 22nd. So in the new year, during the Blackest Night. Sorry. And if you'd like to read about maybe some vampires, you can check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. Oh, yeah. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here listening to Phil and I talk about really cool comics. That means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I am God.
And you mentioned nice package a couple of times tonight.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day. He goes limp in my grip.
Those live reads.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, those live reads.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Yep, that's the one.
And for the 150th time,
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us for 100, 150 times. Come back for at least 150 more.
Because we got a lot of books to get to.
And when we come back, Blackest Night begins. We're
does.
here. Yes. For 3 months, kids. January, February, and March. Blackest Night.
Does it spill over into April?
I don't think. I think it works out perfect. I'm trying to remember. I think it might work out perfect. Because one of the months, I think, has like a 5th
Extra week, yeah.
I think it works out perfectly, yeah.
Cool.
And again, send feedback, get a prize. All right, kids. Come back next time. And until then, remember, Guardians be crazy. Good night.